Today's topic is rotational axis. There are three types of rotational axis. First is the rotation around the vertical axis. Vertical axis which is located near the center of the arch. This is in the horizontal plane. Now where is horizontal plane? Number C. Number C is the horizontal plane here. This is the horizontal plane. Rotation around a vertical axis. Vertical axis, this is the vertical axis located near the center of the arch. Near the center of the arch. This is the center of the arch. This is the center of the arch. Rotation around the vertical axis located near the center of the arch. This is in the horizontal plane. This movement is in the horizontal plane. Number C is the horizontal plane here. And the movement in the horizontal plane is in the vertical axis, which is located near the center of the arch. Number second is in the frontal plane or coronal plane. Here number B is the coronal or frontal plane. This is the frontal plane. And the movement in the frontal plane occur in the longitudinal axis. Rotation around a longitudinal axis formed by the crust of the residual ridge. This is the crust of the residual ridge. And in the frontal plane, number B, this is the frontal plane or coronal plane. Movement in the frontal or coronal plane occur in the longitudinal axis, which is formed by the crust of the residual ridge. So this is second type of rotation in the coronal or frontal plane. First is in the horizontal plane. Second is in the frontal or coronal plane. This occur rotation around the longitudinal axis formed by the crust of the residual ridge. This movement. And third movement occur in the sagittal plane or anterior posterior plane. See here, number A is the sagittal plane. This is the sagittal plane or anterior posterior plane. Now in this plane, movement occur in the fulcrum line. What is fulcrum line? Fulcrum line passing through the most posterior abutment. Where is the most posterior abutment? This is the most posterior abutment. This is the fulcrum line. In the sagittal or anterior posterior plane, rotation around the fulcrum line passing through the most posterior abutment. When the denture base move vertically towards or away from the supporting residual ridge. This is the movement which occur in the sagittal plane or anterior posterior plane around the fulcrum line. These are the three types of movements which is possible in the RPT. Now these type of movement in distal extension RPT is resisted by this. First is the around the fulcrum or transverse line. Around the fulcrum or transverse line, this type of movement, that is in the sagittal or anterior posterior plane, this type of movement is resisted by indirect retainer. And second is around the longitudinal axis. Rotation is around the frontal or coronal plane. rotation around the longitudinal axis formed by the crest of the residual ridge, which is in the frontal or coronal plane. This type of movement is resisted by rigidity of the major and the minor connector. And third movement, which is around the vertical axis, which is in the horizontal plane. Rotation around a vertical axis located near the center of the arch, which is in the horizontal plane, and this type of movement is resisted by reciprocal arm, that is stabilizing component, that is reciprocal arm, and the minor connector.